Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada sudah hadir. Minta maaf kerana minggu kita masih lagi meneliti perkembangan dan meneliti keputusan berdasarkan kawasan pilihan raya dan Jenderal Parti dan juga SPR. Dalam di sini umpamanya ada juga masalah-masalah tertentu. Semua telefon di pejabat pusat keadilan itu terputus dengan sendirinya. Jadi terpaksa dipindah seluruh operasi malam ini. Dan ini juga mempersulitkan kita mendapatkan maklumat dari kawasan dan Dewan Negeri dan Parlimen. Kita bercadang untuk memberikan sedikit gambaran tentang apa yang berlaku hari ini, konsisten dengan teguran yang dibuat oleh pimpinan Pakatan Rakyat yang disuarakan oleh PAS, dan keadilan sebelum ini tentang apa yang kita anggap kecurangan dalam pelaksanaan pilihan raya. Now we'll begin by a short presentation to indicate cases of either fraudulent process or irregularities in the elections, in the conduct of the elections, either prior to the elections today, which is a major issue because the results from postal voters and early voters are certainly not consistent with the general trend of voting pattern. We find in some constituencies 12%, 15% of the so-called army or police personnel or early voters who actually support the Pakatan Rakyat. And we have said this much earlier. Specific evidence of names of foreign nationals voting as military personnel. We have given evidence of irregularity, including the so-called indelible ink, which until today they have denied. For all intents and purposes, indelible ink did not work. This is taken by the last missionary on the ground and the Keadilan youth in Keraguan, FRU, the Federal Reserve Unit of the police, were actually escorting the phantom voters to the post station. Second case in Stapa, where the police have asked the staff or our political officer identifying buses suspected of bringing phantom voters into the voting area. In the third case, the PAS Muslimat in Shah Alam was successful in asking the Bangladeshi voters to leave the premise. This is how they brought in Bangladeshi voters, Kilang and Max the Middle Plan. They brought to the polling booth. An EC, Election Commission officer, caught bringing out the reason why we decided to use this sort of evidence, because the Election Commission, all years, in the last 2 weeks, has been just very dismissive. We talked to them about indelible ink. They said, no, it's not the case. And now we find thousands of people. I was in my constituency and I've seen people. I mean, you've seen photographs of car passing and the rest, killing in a matter of hours. So when we say that talking phantom voters or Bangladeshis, it's better that we show or give them evidence. Because it happened also in my constituency, in Penang. So it's not just peculiar to Selangor or Kuala Lumpur. But of course, it is the case, because sometimes they do provide an IC. I don't know how they got it, but they still have it. Can ask the Election Commission on early voting. Where the representatives of the parties contesting the elections were not allowed to observe both the voting or custody of these voting slips. We have protested on this. Last week, in the press conference, I gave a specific case of 50,000 so-called media personnel, 50,000 allowed by the EC to vote early, and then the voting slip was sent by the postal department to the media center. Then the staff on their own voted, but sent back to the postal office without the knowledge of or any representative of the party, or particularly the Pakatan or opposition parties. We're talking about 50,000 votes. Now we have, of course, reason to suspect the postal office or postal department has been privatized to set Okta, the leading UMNO crony. And we are expected to entrust the entire responsibility to this man. They have custody of 50,000 voting slips. Only then reduced to the SPR or the Election Commission and then brought in. So you wouldn't be surprised that on the average, where seats may be lost by 500, 1,000, 2,000 votes. With this exercise, they were used at the right time to be counted. And in cases, there are cases where 12% or 15% support the opposition. 80 to 90% automatically are the votes already in possession with the Barisan Nasional. Now, postal voters constitute about 200,000. And then early voters, postal voters, 230,000. So you're talking about postal, early voters, and media. So it comes about close to 500,000, I suppose. And that's a foregone conclusion. So in this 500,000, maximum we can get is about 20%. So that's why we will give this sort of evidence. This is one time where it was decided by the Election Commission and told to the representatives of Pakatan Rakyat and also to the special panel established by Parliament that they would ensure at every stage there will be representatives, including voting is done at the premise of the armed forces personnel. I mean, for in the case of armed forces personnel or police voting, representatives or parties would be allowed to be present. Now, this in many cases did not happen. And during the few days that they had in custody, they just wanted us to give full trust to the police. And then to then produce this voting slip during the county at 5 o'clock today. So, you have a case in Kuantan. The speaking didn't allow her to observe, to stand observers. But this is a 5-day period, 30th to the 5th of May, in safe custody of the police, right? So we, of course, in our session, in the long session, you see these irregularities have cost us many things, particularly those with narrow margin. Of course, they attempted all things, including, as I said, my parliamentary constituency. And notwithstanding, it will certainly have a profound adverse impact to the result in the constituencies where it is intensely fought. If that's a position that you would like to first state. So we open up for questions now.
Mr. Anwar, is this a concession speech then, or hope is lost?
No, we are still monitoring the elections. The results have not come out. There's certain seats or constituencies is still challenged. And you see the men in the media reports is also clearly biased.
Official results, though, show the incumbent with over 100 seats now. And you're
Short
very
of
far
the simple
behind.
majority.
Only a few seats short.
Yes, they are themselves are not claimed. And we are not challenging some of the premise in the election. A major issue which must be addressed, particularly the election commission. We want the election commission to give a satisfactory answer to why this fraudulent process was being condoned or done, and they are clearly, or they were, complicit to the crime.
So will you accept the result?
We'll see when we get the entire results and the explanation. For now, of course, our decision is to just wait and get their response to the specific allegations that we have made.
Mr. Anwar, that's supermarket pay. Now you have come up with all these irregularities and alleged vote tampering. Now, how are you going to convince your supporters restraint? Because the police have said that if there was trouble, it's going to come from the opposition party. So how are you going to urge your supporters to exercise restraint?
We have appealed to our supporters to maintain calm, ensure there's peace, and voice of protest, but clearly, very loudly. They should not be seen deemed to be weak and condone these excesses and this crime, stealing the elections in this manner. But we have said that they should not do anything that would cause instability. So we let the leaders decide and work on this. They have the right to know what happened.
Now, earlier on,
And just to qualify, we have been consistently complaining about the fact that we abuse the names of foreigners, at that time Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Indonesians, and Filipinos in the electoral list under nationality, with 4 countries' nationality, and yet serve as military and police personnel.
now I understand there were some international observers. I think they're from the ASEAN countries. Now, what have they said about it? Have you spoken to them about what you believe, what you call irregularities?
There was a published interim report stating strongly the issue of irregularities, other than what I have said, electoral roll, no access to the building, and the entire campaign will be demanding that the Minister of Information and Prime Minister allow us to have some access to the media. It was never given. But it is a published report.
Sri, notwithstanding the fraud that you say has happened in this election, going by the trend of the number of seats that you won, are you close to winning, or is the other side close?
Well, we're still not there yet. Neither is BN. So we're just looking at the results and in some of the constituencies, challenging the process. So let's give some time. Yeah. You see, the seats that we have won, even like Maybank, we knew 3 hours earlier. The Election Commission deliberately delayed announcing all seats won by the opposition, so that they will say 46 BN, 6 opposition. And this is so deliberate and pathetic that you realize that at this hour, they just really, they just announced from my company half an hour ago.
Mr. Anwar, on Twitter it's just been announced that the BN seats have hit 112, which means that they do have the simple majority. You know,
I think they are completely with false.
these are official results of the election.
So by the election commission, is it?
It is from Pakatan National's Twitter account, but it is official. Channel News Asia is also reporting that it's official results.
You see, then you expect the Election Commission then to follow through what the BN Twitter account suggests. So I think the official statement must come from the Election Commission and not the BN Twitter account. That we could direct the Election Commission what to do.
Yeah, so what's your next course of action really now? Let's say assume that they want to implement
I think we have to wait for the official announcement of the result first. And EC also has mentioned many times that the official result will come from EC and not from anybody else. So we have to wait for that.
Just 4 more seats away from the end getting a simple majority. So it looks like it's very, very close.
First, they say, first, 4 more seats. Second, they have not responded to the issues that were raised. And in many of the seats that they have announced, we are contesting. And we're contesting not just because we have heard for the fact that they have announced the result. We have challenged it from the word forward, from the beginning. We're not only not responded, but you can see the success. And only in constituencies where we are rather strong, we can have people with these challenges, as I said, to identify these people. Can you imagine across the globe what's happening? So there are 2 issues. One, some of these seats announced are still being challenged. Second, they're still short of the majority.
Sorry, one question.
One last.
One last question. So, if, for example, would this be your last election? Would it still continue to fight in the coming 4 years?
No, my personal decision. Let's see. My decision stands. But let's see first. What the process is. And I don't think it is fair to expect me to form a conclusion or make a decision is primarily on an election that we consider rather fraudulent, and the fact the Election Commission has failed in its task and really ignore either the sentiments and aspirations of the people or the rules that they themselves made and are supposed to abide.
So if there's a loss, you wouldn't accept it graciously, you would still say there was fraudulent means?
No, we have given evidence. It's not because of what we say. I mean, we've given evidence unless you want to deny that that guy was not a Bangladeshi, then that is resolved there. Or whether that's voting slip brought out by the EC officer was not a voting slip, then let them investigate. But it's not fair for you to come to question the fact that we are not accepting without any reasons. There were reasons, and of course we have facts to support our case. Okay?
We are not satisfied at all with dia punya kemenangan yang tipu.
I share your sentiments, but we have to respond. We'll meet again and we have to respond.
Yes, sir.